Hi everyone, this is Kat and welcome back to my channel. So if this is the first time you are watching my video, so my channel is all about MBA, because this year I have started MBA program at Rotterdam School of Management, and I have been as much as possible with all the time constraints and all the assignments and studying. I was trying to show you the way it works, both school, living in Rotterdam, traveling around a little bit. So right now we are at a point where we finished our term 1, which was 2 months, and we finished our final exams, and we're about to start term 2 as well. So I just wanted to make this video with kind of results, impressions, kind of like first term in review, most of the highlights of it, the way, for me at least, in my experience. I hope it's going to be useful and interesting for you. If that is, keep watching. Of course, what you might have heard is that one of the most important things about MBA is not necessarily the academia and all the knowledge and the lectures and things like that, but the people that you meet along the way, so the cohort, the people in your classroom that you're surrounded by, and the whole value of your MBA is determined by the quality of that cohort. So our school has put together the directory of participants, which I'm showing you right now on the screen. And you can see that the class is, of course, extremely international. So we are 137 people. The average age is 30. So I'm kind of an outlier, and there's a breakdown as well. So 2% of people of 25 years, and then almost 50-50 of mid-20s to 30s, and then about 50% of 30 plus. We are not exactly equal on our gender ratio, but they tell us that this year actually has been much better in terms of getting to that equality of having the fair share of the female students, and the average amount of experiences. I think the minimum for the admittance was 3, and we only have 6% of those. And then about half of us have 4 to 6 years, and half of us 7 plus. The interesting part also, of course, are the nationalities. And you can see we have 37 nationalities, which makes our class 99% international. We only have really 2 people that are Dutch. And then in terms of professions and no, actually in terms of our academic background, you'll see that the vast majority is coming from economics and business, including myself, and then as well as engineering, humanities and art, science and medicine, law, and others. So the majority of the class is economics, business, and engineering. And here you can actually see all the wonderful people, the professional pictures that the school has taken of us, with a brief explanation where have we studied before, as well as our nationality, our email address that the school assigned us, a particular university email address, and also what our last place of work was, and what the position was. So incredible people. I still, even now, 2 months later, haven't had a chance to talk to absolutely everyone, which I still have something to work on. But the diversity is immense. The concentration of the smartness, brain, and brilliance is amazing. And when recently I was asked what is my favorite thing about MBA so far, my answer actually is that I've never been surrounded with such a concentration of smart people ever before. So the next thing that I want to talk about is actually academia, or the schedule and the subjects that we had throughout the course. So this is the schedule that the management prepared for us and gave us upon arrival. So you will see here on the top we have a list of subjects, a description of subjects that we were going to have during the term 1. So the names of the subjects in the first column, and of course the names of the lecturers and the how many sessions we had. So the first subject that we had was personal leadership development, and it was conducted by Mr. Leroy Hannes, and he was from Belgium. Then we have quantitative platform for business with Mr. Trevor Wagner from South Africa. Organizational behavior, and it was done by Mr. Stefan from Germany. Financial management Mr. Eric, he was from Holland, of course, management science, and two professors shared this subject, one from Greece and one from Holland. And of course, the last one, the business of sustainability, we had 6 sessions of that by Mr. Lawrence Pratt from the USA. And then you will see that down below there is a breakdown day by day of our classes. So we would have classes every day, Monday to Friday, 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon, 3 hours each. We'll be divided by 3 different sections, because of course you can't have all 137 people studying together. So pretty equally on the criteria of diversity. And I was in section C. And then, of course, they would take into consideration also our professional backgrounds and try and make it as diverse as possible. So then day by day, you will see what is the course that you're having, what is the class that you're having, what's the number of the session, and of course, you will see then as well which office, which room, rather, the class will be taking place. So of course you then will see there will be some housekeeping, I guess, events scheduled, such as the City Hall registration. That is something that was required by the Dutch immigration services for all of us to do, since we are staying here a long time. And then of course midway through the term we had 2 midterm exams. Now to arrange the exams or not, it's the midterms and the finals is completely up to the professor. So we had only 2 out of the 6 subjects, only 2 professors organized the midterm exams, and there was the quantitative platform for business and then the financial management. I'll talk about exams a little bit later, more in detail. And then, of course, right after that, the second portion of the term, and finally was finished with the week of exams. We had a total of 5 exams, 1 day each, and that concluded the semester. We also had a few subjects from career services, such as the improvisation workshop, as well as we had team coaching as well. Now, I wanted to tell you also a little bit more about the way the material is being presented to us and the way our knowledge is being graded. So basically, I have shown you now the schedule, which lists all the lectures that are mandatory to attend. The professors usually pass around the attendance list, and we put our name and we sign every time we attend, and it's being monitored. Also, some of the professors rate class participation, because our classes are not exactly like, at least in my case, was back at the university, where you just sit and listen for 1.5 hours. Here the classes are very interactive, and it is the professor, yes, who is supplying the material, but also he's the one who is conducting, guiding us, asking questions. So there is a lot of case studies, there is a lot of interaction, and we learn as much from our fellow students as well. So the lectures is one part, and like I said, some of the professors rate our class participation either by quizzes or by memory, by polls and things like that. Now we also get to do our individual assignments, which whether it's writing an essay or complete a particular survey as well. And the biggest part and the biggest challenge and difficulty and the time-consuming thing was, of course, our group assignments. Now, the idea of group assignments is, of course, for us to learn to work in teams, because this is an essential skill for any job, for managerial job in particular, moving forward. So these big sections that I was showing you, 37 to 40 people each, are then divided into little subsections of 5 to 6 people each. So we have this little booths, like glass rooms that we can book when we work in our groups. So here in that this is our group, first of all. So we have Alberto eating my apple. There's Miss Aditi, who's a little sick. And there's Miss Ada. And Yusuf is talking to his family in Turkish that we don't understand anything right now. So it's fully equipped. We have this board where we can make notes with eraser and with everything. And then we have a screen and the cable. So we're going to connect our laptops so everyone sees what we're talking about. So it's really fancy and pretty and new and neat and makes us really nice and productive, right, team? It's the end of the day and everyone is like dead. And we still have like a couple of hours to, work on our assignments. So yeah, I mean, they make it easy. So we can be efficient and just, generate ideas and work on things. So we're starting in 5 minutes. So this is kind of like a little prep time. The other teams are actually in the next room doing the same thing right there. And then on the other side is the MBA staff people. There's some dancing. You can see at the end of the day there is still some energy going on. So yeah, that's us, doing our assignments and having fun. All right, so in essence, like I said, we would usually have 2 lectures a day, 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon, and then we sometimes spend, an hour, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours preparing those group assignments. And of course, we would also have, you don't come to lecture just, without having a clue. Most of the professors also have reading and or videos or case studies for us to prepare prior to the lecture. So in essence, if you think that this is not a full-time job, getting this MBA study, well, let me tell you, it is. Especially a year program, which is our case, is the material is really condensed, so everything goes very, very fast. We just seems like we started the journey on January 7th, and now it's already the end of March. So it goes really fast, and it's really packed with events, networking events as well. Studies, lectures, assignments. But, it's not all that gloomy, and we do also have leisure time, and I want to show you one of the versions of how we would spend our free time. So there's this sport facility that we have that is massive, and it has a gym, has all different types of classes, and today Clara was gonna close the door. Today we actually booked the volleyball court and we're gonna try and have a good game here. So these are some people from our cohort, boys and girls, all different nationalities. We're trying to put the net up for right now, but we'll be playing in a moment. So I will show you some actual shots, some actual videos from the game when it starts.
Taking over Kat's video blog for a while she plays volleyball. Bunch of our classmates here today on a Saturday afternoon.
5-4.
Madam President is also here.
So that was just a little snippet of our volleyball games. We're actually preparing for the tournament, MBA tournament, that is going to be taking place in May. But when we get there, I'll make a separate video about that. We're all pretty excited. I also will probably make a separate video about the sports center, about all the classes in the gym that is right here on campus. But right now, I just wanted to finish my video with one of the parties. Myself, I haven't been going to the parties too much, maybe, once a month, but we do have clubs and we have a student association, and there is a particular club dedicated to parties. And so far we had one official party organized through them with their help, and that took place in one of the buildings where about 70 people of our cohort live, and it was called Around the World Party. So pretty much there was a room, there were 5 different rooms with 5 different national cuisines, and almost 100 people from our cohort have gone there, and you would move from room to room with that specific food, with that specific music, and we really had a lot of time. I'm not going to go too much into detail about the party, because at the parties people are usually not necessarily in the best shape to be recorded, but I'll give you a couple of ideas, a couple of snippets, and that would conclude this video of my term 1 in review. Enjoy, and I'll see you in the next videos. Indian room with all the Indian dancers.